In today's brand new Project Cars 2 DLC news video, I'm going to show you some exciting in-game images of each of the cars we're going to be getting in the Fun Pack DLC, along with telling you what circuits we're getting as well. So, let's jump straight into it. What's going on, guys? My name is Martinio and welcome back to Project Cars 2 and a brand new DLC news video. So, I did one of these videos like a week ago, and honestly I wasn't expecting to have to do another one so soon, but basically within the last day or so, Slightly Mad Studios, the people behind Project Cars 2, have released a lot more information with regards to what we're getting in the pack, and some of it we already knew. We already knew we were going to get things like the S1 Quattro from 1985. We knew we were going to get things like the RS200, some of Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s cars, you know, the RTR Brocky and stuff like that. So we already knew about that. But what they've also done in the last few hours actually is they've released some images of each of the cars, in-game images, and also confirmed what the circuits are going to be. So let's jump straight into the main part of the video and first of all take a look at what circuits we're getting. Okay, so in the past two videos, in the comments, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of oh, I'd love this track, I'd love this track, I'd love this track sort of stuff going on, but now we have confirmation about what circuits we're going to be getting in the game, and honestly I'm a bit disappointed. Not because of the circuits and because I dislike them at all. I'm disappointed because the two circuits we're getting is the Catalonia Rallycross circuit, the circuit to Catalonia's Rallycross course, and the historic Brands Hatch Rallycross course. Now, we've already got Catalonia and Brands Hatch in the game, and when I saw this this information, my first thought was, well, why weren't these in the game from the start? We've had these tracks in the game, not just this game, but the last game as well, the first Project Cars. Why weren't these circuits in there? Why aren't they bringing something completely new towards? I mean, like I said, I've got nothing against the circuits. I just honestly believe these two slots could have been filled up with something completely new, and also something a little bit different. Something that'll, you know, that'll cater towards that Ford Brocky that we're getting, and also, you know, like I said, maybe something, a full-blown rally course sort of thing. Like, you know, that would cater towards the RS200, the Renault 5 Maxi, the Renault 5 Turbo Maxi, the S1 Quattro. So to have just, you know, a couple of circuits being dropped into the game that I believe honestly should have been in the game from the start is a little bit disappointing. So yeah, you'll have your thoughts and opinions on this, of course, and by all means leave comments down below if you think I've been stupid or whatever. I'm prone to being that way, but I'm a little bit disappointed because these seem like circuits that should have been in the game from the start. But like I mentioned in the last video, why give it to us in the actual core release of the game when we can hold it back and charge you extra for DLC? So what we're going to do now is take a look at the cars, and more importantly we're going to take a look at the images that SMS have released for each of the vehicles that are going to be in this DLC pack. And we'll start off with this one here. This of course is the Audi S1 Quattro, and the big thing that I was wondering about, because this is the car that I was most looking forward to getting my hands on, is I was wondering which one we were going to get, because there are a number of different sorts of aerodynamic variations, aren't there? So we've got the this one you've got on screen, which is kind of the standard World Rally Championship layout. We've got a Pikes Peak version of the car, of course. Seeing as we're not getting Pikes Peak, it was probably a little bit of a stretch if we were going to get that one. And we've also got one which basically has none of the wings at the front. It's very, very open, more of kind of like a tarmac rally sort of layout, I think it is. But there we go. This is the one we're getting. We're getting the full-blown World Rally Championship Group B standard sort of aerodynamic layout there, and I'm happy with it because, like I said, either one it was going to be, I was going to be happy with it. And it looks like we're getting the classic, you know, the white and the yellow livery as well, which again is absolutely awesome. So yeah, this is the image they've released. It's not the greatest image, admittedly. Of all the images they've released, this is probably the worst one because you only see the back of the car, you don't see the front of it or the side or whatever. But there we go, that is the Audi S1 Quattro. Okay, so the next image we're going to take a look at is this one here, and as you can see, it is the Ford RS200, and it looks absolutely amazing, it really does. And yeah, I'm really excited for this car. Again, it's not a brilliant image. We're not getting multiple angles of the images itself, but it looks like being the standard, the Ford RS, the white and blue sort of livery we're getting on this one. I imagine there'll be a lot of different liveries and variations for that, but this looks really, really good. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And yeah, there's not really much else to say. It looks absolutely superb, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. And the next image we're going to take a look at is this one here, which is a much better image, admittedly. This is the Renault 5 Maxi Turbo, and again, it looks absolutely amazing. The really encouraging thing that I've seen from each of these first three images is the fact they're all taken on tarmac. So I'm really excited about putting each and every one of these cars through my Azure Coast hill climb for my Hill Climb Monster series. And yeah, like I said, it looks brilliant. It really does, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on this thing because, like I said, Renault 5 Turbo is one of the cars that kicked off the whole hot hatch scene, which I was into for a little while. So yeah, I'm really excited to get my hands on this one. Okay, and the next image we have is this one here, which is the Audi S1 Quattro rallycross car. So this is obviously paying homage or homage, however you want to pronounce it, to the Audi S1 Quattro we're already getting. But yeah, rallycross car, another one. It's a really fun class to have, rallycross, and the fact they're expanded it is really good. I was wondering why we didn't have the Citroen and the Audi when the game was originally released, and I could easily get on my soapbox about talking about holding things back so they can charge extra for DLC, but I'm not going to. I'm happy this car's coming to the game, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to drive. And the same can be said for the DS3, which we've got an image of right here. This, of course, is Petter Solberg's car. I think he may have won the World Rallycross Championship in this, potentially. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, I apologise. But like I said, I'm always happy to see classes being expanded. I still think there are some that really do need a lot more expansion. Touring cars. But I'm really happy that this is coming to the game as well, like the S1 Quattro, and it just gives you that extra little bit of variety for that particular class if Rallycross is your favourite category for racing. And the next car we're going to take a look at is this one here, the 1966 Ford Mustang Rtr. And this was the one that I was most wondering about because I couldn't find any images. This car, along with the other Mustang I'm going to show you in a moment, and that Ford Brocky, Ford Bronco Brocky thing that we saw in the last DLC news video, they're all to do with professional drifter Vaughn Gittin Jr., so they're all his cars. But I hadn't been able to find the 66 or 65 Mustang there, and this is it here. And I don't know if it's a drift car. I really hope it isn't. I'm not a fan of drifting. I really am not. But to me, that kind of looks like it could possibly be a touring car. And I know what you think, Mustang touring car, are you serious? Well, there's a great video, and I'm going to put a link in the description if I can find it. There's a great video of an absolutely brilliant race at an old English circuit called Crystal Palace. Not the football team, but an old English circuit called Crystal Palace. And it's got some huge American cars. I think there's a Camaro in there. I think there might be a Mustang in there as well. You've got like things like a Mini Cooper in there. And they're just going hammer and tongs at each other. I would love to see this thing in the touring car class because, you know, they did the classic and the old touring cars, because we've got a Camaro in there, which I think falls in that class as well. So if we get this in there, that could be a really fun race to have between those two. And also, like I said, adds a little bit more variety because I think that's one of the areas they do need to improve on. They need to do more classic touring car sort of fare. But if this is that, then I'm very happy. But if it's another drift car, then not so much. And the next car we have for you is this one right here, the Ford Mustang Rtr Spec 5D. I believe this is a 2016 model, and this one definitely is a drift car. As you can see, it's going sideways at what I think is Long Beach, and yeah, like I said, I'm not a big fan of drifting. It's brilliant if you can do it. I can't do it, which is probably why I'm not a big fan of it, and I just really don't have any intention of learning. But yeah, if you are into your drift cars in Project Cars 2, this will go along nicely with the Rad Bull that we got as well. So if this is your thing, congratulations. If it's not and you're like me, then probably I would have liked to have seen something else put in this spot. And the last one we have, of course, is one we mentioned in the last DLC news video, the Ford Bronco Brockie. It's a 600 brake horsepower from what I've been seeing and hearing. And yeah, I mean, I mentioned it in the last video that I was a little bit puzzled as to why this would be in the game, unless we were getting some sort of, you know, circuit or specific track that would cater towards it. But given we're getting classic Brands Hatch and the Catalonia Rallycross circuit, even more so than I was in the last video, I'm really unsure as to why this is in there, because I don't think we've got any, there's no circuits to properly cater for it, because it looks like I said, a Baja 1000 cross-country insane Paris-Dakar sort of thing, doesn't it? So, yeah, I'm a little bit unsure as to why this is in there. It is in there, of course, and I'm sure it'll be fun to drive, but I would have liked to have seen either this spot go to a different car or to have a track that could properly cater towards having this car in the game, basically. Okay then guys, so that's pretty much everything I've got for you for this video. No idea of a solid release date yet. I've heard someone say winter, which could be December, it could be January, and so on, whenever winter the season ends itself. I think with this information coming out and the images that we've seen in game, I would say possibly within the next week or two we're going to see this DLC coming out. Don't quote me on that, don't take it as gospel, because I could be wrong, but that's just my feeling on the subject. Yeah, keep an eye on things like GT Planet and on the PlayStation Store, on Slightly Mad Studios forums as well. That's probably where the information will be dropped and come out first. But that's, again, the end of the video today, guys. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy, you would like to see more Project Cars 2 content from myself, then make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And also, leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on this DLC? Are you happy with what we're getting, or is there things you'd rather have instead of this? Always happy to hear from you guys, so let me know. But again, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace!